Blockchain technology is now powering mission-critical and high-value transactions, which means failures can be extremely costly. And when these failures occur, most operators in a consortium don't know if the failure is due to their infrastructure or the larger network. They simply lack observability. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to demonstrate how organizations can investigate, monitor, analyze, and act on data to gain complete observability. See if you can notice the moment when things start to fail and how we're able to respond. We're going to use the Splunk app for Hyperledger Fabric to demonstrate, but this also applies to Ethereum and Quorum and other distributed ledger technologies. This app is free and it allows you to visually see and understand the architecture, monitor health, and even analyze transactions. Understanding the architecture is important because this infrastructure is complex and there's net new terminology. What are anchor peers? What are leader peers? What's their purpose? What happens if one of them goes down? What data is being generated? When there's a need to troubleshoot, this information is simply a requirement. And it's inevitable there will be failures. You've probably experienced misbehaving containers. Sometimes containers are misbehaving so badly you just want to shoot them. In fact, let's literally shoot a container and see what happens. We've hooked up these containers to an instance of Doom that happen to be monsters. Let's go ahead and get one. Okay, so now this container has been shot. Let's go see what happens. We'll start by going to monitor the health of the infrastructure. At the top, we can see that this hasn't significantly impacted any CPU or memory. We've got various metrics coming in. But it might have affected some of the transactions. It looks like peer 0 has potentially gone down. We could drill down further and look at the block performance by channel, and we can see that, yeah, peer 0 is falling behind on blocks. It looks like that's across the board on all the channels. So we could be out a peer right now. And we can see that the error rate has increased. So let's drill down into the logs and see what kind of errors we're getting. Okay, yep, we're failed to obtain connection for peer 0. And we can see that those errors have been annotated right here. So these logs are showing us what happened when the container died and the repercussions. Notice this dashboard is combining both metrics and logs, and the event annotation makes it clear what happened. And although the health isn't 100%, it looks like transactions are still going through. And this is because there's other peers available, which means we have time to save the day and get the peer back up and running before chaos ensues. Or we could cause a doomsday scenario. And now we can see that this organization is no longer able to process transactions. And without observability, this organization might be assuming that the issue is somewhere higher level, like with the consortium. Unfortunately, we can zoom out and get a view of how everything is operating at a higher level, at the consortium level. This is a 9-member consortium. And note that these organizations are running their own infrastructure in mixed environments. Some are on-prem with Kubernetes and others are in various cloud providers. And yet we can access the same information. And this is because Splunk is able to bring in data from multiple locations. It doesn't matter if you're running in one of the major cloud providers or you're running on your own infrastructure. Transactions and chain code events are indexed using the open source Splunk Connect for Hyperledger Fabric. And metrics are indexed natively using statsd. So what you just saw is how you can use this data to understand the architecture, monitor for health, and even analyze transactions. You can download this app for free at Splunkbase. And for more information, you can email blockchain@splunk.com.